Oh, look at this. It's amazing. Today I've got an exciting video for you. We're going to be working on the Mini R53 and we are going to be changing a heck of a lot of parts. So in 48 hours, this car is going on a trailer and we're off to Cadwell Park and we're going racing. At the minute, it needs a lot of work. So today we're going to be working through some definites and some maybes, but I've decided that the crankshaft, which was a maybe, is now going to have to be a definite. So today we're going to be putting on all new suspension, all new discs and pads. We've got to repair the power steering pump. I've got a power steering pump. I've got the pipe work for it and it's already previously had a new rack. I need to install all the body kit and trim. I have taken it all off and turned it into carbon fibre. I haven't really, it's just vinyl wrapped. But work with what you got. Explore the exhaust because it's hitting the bodywork and the trim has fallen down on the back. So that's one heck of a rattle in there. And I'm going to complete a supercharger service. While I'm in there, I'm going to put a new water pump. Got a couple of modifications. It's going to be full coilover suspension. We're going to put a bigger intercooler on. And we're going to put vented and grooved discs and pads, Mintex discs and pads. When we get to the crankshaft, I'm going to try and do in situ, but I'm going to have to remove the gearbox, the clutch, the flywheel, and I'll be in there doing the crank seal as well, which is common for these to be leaking. So there's nothing else to do, but let's get on with it. I will be using some power tools for this because otherwise my enormous job is going to be even bigger. So let's get these wheels off. I've just cracked off these two 13mm so I can hopefully undo it with a ratchet. And I've just wire brushed the back of the bolt and the threads. I just hope this thing comes out. Don't try and be a hero when doing these. Use some spring clamps or something because this is just downright dangerous. I've got it in this little rig here and I'm still a little bit scared. Couldn't stay that long. Now with the handbrake undone, we should just be able to push these slider bolts out and take the caliper discs and pads off. So I've given this area a nice clean up, given it a wire brush and primed it, satin blacked it. Put a bit of copper grease on here, ready for the disc to go on, and I've cleaned up the calipers with a wire brush as well. Rewinding these was an absolute pig. I'm not looking forward to doing the fronts. There's no need to grunch it up, it just has to be on there. That looks so much better already. I've set this height here at randomly 38mm. And I've done that both sides just so they're both the same height and we can adjust it later. That way I can lower it. And in my head that works. It's going to be easier to lower it than it is to raise it back up again. That's better. For the back end, I think that's done. Apart from the trim. Maybe it needs some trim. We'll do that later. As I mentioned before, we've got the exhaust hanger here. It's touching against the body of the car. So what I'm going to try and do is drop it down and yeah, see if I can just whiz the end off. It's good, it's hollow, it's quite easy to cut through. Right, put it back together. So a lot has happened since I put the back end back on. We are here with all its vital fluids drained, apart from the gearbox oil. The front end is off, supercharger's off, inlet manifold's off, front suspension is off, suspension arms are ready to remove. I'm now going to work on dropping the subframe down so I can get to the power steering. So the power steering is like one of our next issues. And once the subframe's away, I've got good access then for the sump. And crazily enough, we're going to try and do a crank change with the engine in. Got 2 upright supports as well. Let's whiz them out. So to get at the crankshaft, you've got to take a lot off. I mean a lot. I'm going to take the sump off and I'm going to release the gearbox bolts. Now Bluetooth. Missed one. You get the rocker cover off so we can gain access to the top of the engine and loosen off the, well, I'm entirely remove actually the cam chain. I should just release. I'm kind of hoping this just lifts off. I'll attach to it. Just a breather pipe, I think. It's got a good gasket on it. Oh my gosh. Nobody saw that happen, surely. Cam cover removed. We're going to be removing this chain and the sprocket, but the chain is held tight by the nylon guides which run down either side, and also there's a cam tensioner, hydraulic cam tensioner around the back, so we're going to work on getting them out. It's a good job I got half an idea, but I can't say I actually know what I'm doing. Just jack the engine up a smidge so I can get onto this one. One out without dropping it. 2 out. Battery remaining 63%. Good to see this has held its weight up as well. Right, that's him off. I think we're winning. I think we're actually winning. I feel like I've achieved something. Thank you. That's literally going to sit there for a bit. Oh, the clutch looks good. So that's a good sign. Oh, Jesus. Heavy bits have come off. I'd love this to be off for like 15 minutes and just go back on again. I can't see that happening. I've just used my fancy new tool to take the bottom pulley off, but the camera decided not to record. So I've got the top sprocket locked now. I can take this centre pin out and the chain will go slack, and then I can just drop it off. Remove the oil plate on the bottom, and then we should be ready, finally, to drop off the bottom of the engine. I feel like we are about 12 hours into a 5-hour job at the minute.
So you're winning, are you, mate?
Yeah, still coming apart though.
Yeah, mate.
Still coming apart. The next one's ready to go in. Just time is not.
Yeah, it's like you've got fuck all up. Just take it all out. How'd you clutch?
Beautiful.
Nice.
Bell housing's really clean as well. And we're dry around here.
Nice.
Are you separating? Just give it a tap till it starts moving. There we go.
Engines stink, don't
They do, especially bottom ends, like they're really, really strong. This wasn't a job I planned on doing when I started it. Right, let's get this cleaned up, swapped over, and then back on. I'm not playing about with it for longer than I need to. Finally, we're at a point where we can put the clutch back on and work towards getting the gearbox on. Here's me thinking putting it back together was going to be the easy bit. Oh, look at this! It's amazing! We've got a new cam chain on. We've got the guides back in. We've got the top sprocket placed, timed up, and now I'm going to try and get this oil cover back on. I am fast running out of time, and my car does not even have wheels yet. It would appear I've tried to do a week's worth of work in 2 days. What is going on? Why won't this car just go back together? Put a new seal in, they say. It'd be a good idea, they say. Tell me in the comments what I've done wrong. There's me hammering the shit out of it. Didn't mean to swear then, sorry. In actual fact, I just need to line up the oil pump. Every day's a school day. It's tight. I'm going to start putting the drive shafts in. That means that I can get the subframe on. When I've got the subframe on, I can put the hubs on. And suspension. And quite an amazing feat. Wheels. Let's see. Oh, yes. I am absolutely knackered. Good fun though. Hello. There are times in your life when you should do things that challenge you. This has definitely been a challenge. At no point has this felt like a walk in the park. At no point has it felt like I'm just gonna make the track day. Everything, absolutely everything, has fought me along the way. And then I'm sure there'll be bits that I've forgotten. Even from here, I don't think my work is done. We've still got a massive task ahead. Good to have your back power steering. We have stuff. Little wins, little wins. Feeling a bit jealous, not gonna lie.
How many in there, do you reckon? Come on, front of the pit there, Hitch.
Bit more. Mine still looks like this. Squeezing the coolant hoses now. And everything's very tight and very fitted. This one might be a sight to see. You could get blue smoke. Blue. I think I'm actually all set up to get a radiator on now. Goodness gracious me. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to put the old airbox with ECU in. Oh, there we go. Get something important in here now. I need to get some petrol. I'm also going to try and show you the correct way to use a jerry can. So allow the air to come out through the top of the pipe. And it should pour without even glugging. Jobs are good, not a drop wasted. I'm considering I've put a whole new crankshaft in. I think I better give it some oil.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, what's the worst that can happen? There's no cap on the coolant and the bleed valve's open. Oh, my foot's stuck.
So you need the intercooler on.
Yes. We'll do that. But it starts. Let's try and quieten this little guy down.
Yours is flopping about all over the place.
That's all right. Whoa! The car's moving. Yeah, we are now fault finding. Because it's only running on 3 cylinders. I'm trying to figure out why. The car's here at Cadwell Park, running and driving. We've got power steering again. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. And it even passed noise testing. Ooh, winner.